What up, YouTube? This is Steven Talbert. This is Tabby Reacts. So, over the weekend, I got to visit San Francisco and participate in Kind of Funny Live 2. So, I kind of wanted to make a video about Kind of Funny Live 2. I didn't really want to make a video kind of detailing it out because there's some really good pictures. If you look online, go look on Twitter or on Instagram, go look up KFL2, you'll find some great stuff. And also, if you go look up Pixel Brave, who's a YouTuber, he did a really good stuff. Really did a good job at kind of taking pictures of the crowd and a lot of people kind of like the experience overall. So go check out his stuff. I'll put it down below if you want to check it out. So, but kind of what I really want to do is kind of make a video about why it was so awesome, why you should go next year to Kind of Funny 3. So, kind of moving forward, I want to tell you kind of my experience with that and also my experience, my tour with IGN, because I thought that was really impactful for me as well. So the first thing I really did in San Francisco was go to IGN, go to tour IGN. So I basically got in like at 11:30 and quickly ran over to IGN. The tour started at 1 and got to see it. I got to, tour it with 400 of my best friends. So basically, Kind of Funny started out of IGN, and they allowed people to come and tour it, and also they kind of opened it to the public as well, and it basically sold out within probably more than like an hour or so. There was like 400 people that lined up pretty much, and so it was awesome. Like, this thing was probably one of the most coolest experiences that I got to do. For me, like, IGN has always been one of my most favorite places to go online. Like, I love it. I love going. I almost read it pretty much daily in a sense, checking out the articles, checking out the reviews, and also one of the things I really found recently is I really love the kind of the podcast. I love Podcast Beyond. That's how I got started with Kind of Funny, and I love Podcast Unlocked, Podcast Unfiltered, the anime podcast. There's so many good podcasts you can check out. Definitely worth checking out if you want some more podcasts to check out. And so I just started really watching these podcasts. I watched pretty much 4 of these pretty much per week, and I know a lot of these faces. For me, when I got to tour IGN, it was really surreal for me. Like, I got to see so many different faces. It's crazy how many people you get to know overall. And I think one of the most interesting things for me was when they did the kind of the QA session. And one of the things I really took away from it was how really podcasts really changed kind of the atmosphere or the culture of IGN as a whole. Because I really do think it really did change IGN. Like, if you think about IGN, I think they were very self-centered. They were, centered about, reporting the news, which is nice, and kind of really doing, reporting the facts and just doing stuff like that, working with the end developers, but not really with, not much fan involvement. And I think really it changed for the better when IGN decided to kind of do podcasts overall. And it's interesting because of that. I think it made IGN more kind of outward focused. Like, they really wanted to kind of talk to the fans. And I think one of the ways that IGN really gets energy is kind of doing these tours randomly. And I think it was really interesting to see how we kind of really affected a lot of these editors, either in good ways and sometimes bad. Please, if you really like IGN, please give them praise. Like, please, if you really like a specific editor, send them tweets and stuff like that, and be a real positive force in terms of that. But I really liked it because I thought it was really impactful for me just to see that work environment, and it's something I really want to get into. So I wanted to kind of tell you about that. The second thing I think was one of the most important things, and to me, and I think it was the biggest aspect of why I loved this trip, why I loved Kind of Funny too. It was the community. Community is the number one thing. I got interviewed for a documentary, and I was asked, why do you love Kind of Funny? And I answered him. I was like, I really love the community, like, foremost and foremost, because I feel like whether you're very young, like you either seen one episode of the Gamer Greggy show, or the Gamecast, or PS I Love You, or you've seen like 100 episodes, you're all family. You all are fit in our bubble. Like, I think, and that's what's cool about this event. Like, it was really cool for me was like we went to this place. We went to the Soma Street Meet, the streetcar fair. It was one of the first times we got to meet a lot of people. And it was cool because we got to, I would go to introduce myself to other people, and like, oh yeah, you're Toby 128 off the internet, da da da, and like instantly you had a connection. I had that so many times happens to me so many times. It was just crazy, like how you kind of form like a relationship online, and now like, oh my gosh, we are now best friends. You know, we're gonna hug it out, type of thing. It was just really awesome to really do that, and also like during the time like before we waited for Kind of Funny to live, just the kind of that 4 hours you kind of get to hang out with people, get to know people, and check out that community. And what was really interesting about the community is they're all from different places, all different wakes of life. You know, I met a guy from Maryland. I met a guy from just Australia to Ireland to England to California to all sorts of different places. And so it was real awesome just meeting a lot of different people. And we all have one thing really in common. We have one thing real big in common, and that's we love Kind of Funny, and we love video games pretty much. We love that good old PlayStation 4. And so I thought that was one big thing. I think the third one that I think kind of really makes sense is I really love how the personalities were easy to get to. I think one of the most interesting things sometimes is sometimes superstars really make a big deal of themselves. They're all about themselves, and they sometimes don't allow people to come and talk to them. And so, but I feel like that was kind of the opposite in this event. I thought it was really cool for some of their guests. They had the Rooster Teeth cast basically showed up for Kind of Funny Live too, and they kind of were kind of hanging out. And what was cool was like Barbara Duckman, one of the main Rooster Teeth people, you can see them on the Rooster Teeth podcast, basically came outside and kind of talked to kind of the people kind of in line, seeing how they're doing. Just wanted to really kind of meet the fans, and it was real cool for her to see her. And I got to take a picture with her. I'll probably post it on as I do this video. And so that was cool. And then you see other people like Funhouse's Bruce Green. He was there, and he would just chill kind of by the merch side, and pretty much anybody who wanted to come up to him can talk to him, because he was kind of before and after the event. He was real easy, real accessible. And so I thought that was really awesome to see those two, kind of some of the people that were other. I think then you see like guys like Daniela Shepard, who was real approachable, and then you see like Grimecraft and all sorts of different people who kind of even participated in kind of the fan events. And then I think most of all, you have to really appreciate is Greg Miller, who went to almost every other fan event. It seemed like I saw him at Sunday after that, the Sunday after Kind of Funny, where they should probably be resting, but Greg decided he should be going to a fan event, and he did, and it was cool to kind of see that happen. I love Greg for that, because he really wants to make time for effort, trying to meet as much people, much as fans as he does, and that's the one way he kind of really gains energy is through meeting people who love what they do. And so I thought that was awesome. I think one of the most understated things was just how electric the crowd was, because it was just really crazy to kind of think about how electric it was. Like I remember at the kind of the beginning of Kind of Funny, where we're kind of almost counting down as we were kind of listening to music, just like we would see like so we were down below, and there was like a top. There was kind of people like friends and family around the thing. And it was really interesting. You would see just like some of the Kind of Funny people kind of walking through on top. Or you would see like Alfredo Diaz, one of the best friend, a former Argentine guy who does Twitch, and also he was kind of a best friend of ours. Kind of stopped by, and like we would just like yell his name out. We would see people and like we used to yell at him. It was just crazy electric, and I think that played into like Burning Burns being really good, and played into kind of Mega Ran and Tone Deaf. It was really interesting to see. I think Tone Deaf kind of mentioned it. Like it was one of the lowest electric kind of crowds that he was really impressed by it, which was kind of real interesting, coming from like a rapper who did really big events himself. So thought that was interesting. So those were kind of the main ones. I think other ones is just how good. I thought what was cool about this event particularly, and I think why you also should come if you don't know about Kind of Funny, is it's an easy event to go to without no information. Because I thought there was a lot of people who were kind of friends of people that kind of decided to go with them as well. And I think it was an event like you could probably literally not know nothing and still have a fun time. Like they did, kind of sing-alongs with like the Virgin America song, or doing just all sorts of different type of stuff. And I thought it was a really good show, kind of regardless of that. And I thought that was really impressive to think. For me, kind of the high moments were I thought the press conference was awesome. I thought kind of Meg Rand rapping with Colin was pretty cool. I thought kind of really the end, kind of them getting a place is just awesome. It delights me. And then of course my boy Kevin proposing is so legit. It's not funny. So I thought just want to kind of give you that as well. Kind of give you my moments as well. And I thought I really wanted to kind of make a point to why I really thought this event was awesome. And lastly, I really want to kind of say thank you to everybody involved. Like I want to say thank you to Tim, Colin, Greg, Nick, of course, my boy Nick, Kevin, just the Kind of Funny crew, and then even the Rooster Teeth people. I thought the Rooster Teeth people were awesome, very accommodating. I love like all of their guys. It was really cool to meet a lot of them. Took some good pictures, and then and also the other kind of like internet personalities, like Dan Reichert was there. Brandon Jones was awesome. Just some really cool personalities that were there that made it like a really fun time. And then also I want to once again thank all the Kind of Funny people. From the various things that I just met. I love my boy Alex. I love my boy Sean. There's just so many different people that I would like to say thank you, and thank you for Amy and Katie and all sorts of different people. Thank you for being my best friend and showing me a great time at Kind of Funny Live 2, and can't wait to see you at Kind of Funny 3. This is kind of my report. This is why I love Kind of Funny 2. I want to kind of put it again. Just please check out Kind of Funny if you haven't. Kind of Funny is this awesome community of people. Like it really is kind of like family. It's almost like a cult too, in some sense that we were kind of comparing it for a little bit. It's just a group of people who love nerd culture, who love video games. If you want to be a part of that community, go check it out. It's on YouTube. I'll put the links kind of down below as well, so you can check them out as well. Please join it. And thank you for watching this video, because I kind of want to, by the way, also I really want to kind of make that community for me as well. I want Talby Reacts to be kind of that cornerstone. And I think that's why I wanted to make this video, was like, if you like what Kind of Funny has, please come to me and watch me. And thank you for all the people that kind of subscribed to me over the weekend. And have a nice day. Bye.